Tēnā tātou katoa, talo falava, Nisa Bolivinaka. Hello everyone, and welcome to our Q&A. My name is Tupe Solomon-Tanoa'i, and I'm the Chief Philanthropic Officer of the Michael and Suzanne Borrin Foundation. I'll hand over now to my colleague, Ollie Malthus.
Kia ora tātou, ko Ollie Tukuingawa here kai mahi o e Borrin Foundation. Hello everyone, I am Ollie. I'm the Scholarships and Engagement Associate at the Borrin Foundation. Thanks to all of you who have taken the time to join us today. It's great to see there are so many individuals interested in applying for this upcoming round. So we're going to start out with a PowerPoint from Tupe, which will cover an overview of the eligibility criteria for each of the awards available in this round of individual funding. And after that, we will have a Q&A session where we'll cover some frequently asked questions, as well as any questions that come through to us during this webinar. Please feel free to enter questions into the Q&A box at any time during this webinar, and I'll feed them through to Tupe. There's also an option to ask a question anonymously, should you wish to. Please note that this webinar will be recorded and uploaded online for those who cannot attend. So with that, I'll hand you back over to Tupe.
Kia ora, Ollie. Okay. So let's start with the Borrin vision and mission. So we support legal research, education and scholarship that contributes to our vision for Aotearoa New Zealand. And our vision is of an Aotearoa where everyone understands the role and value of the law and everyone enjoys the protection and opportunity that it provides. So we have two streams of funding. So project funding, which we consider on a rolling basis, and so that's typically for multidisciplinary teams looking at an issue in one of our areas of focus. So the individual funding stream, the focus is on developing an individual. So this funding is for legal professionals, so lawyers in the private or public sector, members of the judiciary, both current and retired, legal academics and postgraduate law students. So we aim to support and invest in and celebrate the people who share and can contribute to our shared vision for Aotearoa New Zealand. So we have two application rounds for our fellowships and awards. So this is our first round, and in March we invite applications for the Borrin Foundation Community Law Fellowship and the Borrin Foundation Women Leaders in Law Fellowship, as well as the Travel and Learning Awards. So this year we're also offering a new category of scholarship, which is Te Pae Tawhiti Postgraduate Scholarship. So I'll go through each of the different categories throughout our webinar today, but just quickly to mention that we have a second round in August where we invite applications for the Borrin Foundation Justice Fellowship, the Travel and Learning Awards, again we offer them twice a year, and the Borrin Foundation Ngā Pae o Te Maramatanga Postgraduate Scholarship. So I just wanted to mention the guiding principles for our individual funding, because these are the principles that our selection panel will consider when they are assessing applications. So we aim to invest in people with a demonstrated commitment to the relevant field and to New Zealand. We believe in investing in people that can have a significant long-term practical impact on the way that law meets the needs and aspirations of New Zealanders. We want our support to be a catalyst for change in the people we support and for the field they work in. We consider diversity, equity and inclusion. We also believe in capacity building and maximising the talents of the people that we support, and we aim to focus our support on the people working in areas of the law that are under-resourced or underdeveloped. And the but-for question is one that is important to us. Would our funding enable something to happen that otherwise wouldn't? And is there a clear need for external support? So when you're writing your applications, it's really good to demonstrate how your application fits in with the guiding principles, because this is something that our selection panel will be bearing in mind. So the new scholarship that we are offering in this round is the Pae Tawhiti Postgraduate Scholarship. So this is inspired by the whakatauki via Te Pae Tawhiti kia whakatata mai rā, e ko te Pae Tawhita whakamaua kia tīna. So pursue the distant horizon and bring it closer. As for the close horizon, secure it and hold fast. So this speaks to the aspirations that we have to the holders of this scholarship. So $120,000 will be in the pool of funding, which will be made available, and we expect this to be split between multiple scholars. And we're inviting proposals from law graduates demonstrating financial need who wish to obtain a postgraduate degree in law overseas or domestically. So to be eligible for this scholarship, you need to be a New Zealand citizen or permanent resident, and you need to be an LLB graduate from a New Zealand institution or in your final year who wishes to advance their law studies. And the key thing is to demonstrate financial need that cannot reasonably be met from other sources of funding. So in terms of how it would work, the selection panel will give particular consideration to applicants who belong to a community that is underrepresented in the law and who have a strong connection to that community. And they will also give consideration to applicants who have more complex life circumstances affecting their ability to undertake further study. And we've listed on our website some examples, but it's not limited to those examples. Just make sure that when you are applying, that you explain what your complex life circumstances are, or you explain the community that you belong to and your connection to it. In terms of what you can apply for, you can apply for costs like course fees, living expenses, and economy class airfares. We don't fund retrospectively, but if you have already started your postgraduate degree, you can apply to cover fees for the remainder of your study. Again, here we will be giving preference to candidates who are working in underserved areas of the law or in our strategic areas of focus. And then just a word on how this scholarship works in with other postgraduate or other opportunities to fund postgraduate study through our scholarships or fellowships. So there are other scholarships or fellowships where you can apply to fund postgraduate study through Borrin. So the Women Leaders in Law Fellowship, the Borrin Community Law Fellowship, and of course the Ngāpai o Te Maramatanga Scholarship. All of those could be used for postgraduate study in law. So if you are eligible to apply under those categories, then we encourage you to do so. But if you are eligible to apply for those categories and eligible to apply for this one, then you can also apply for the scholarship as well. So the next fellowship we're offering, again this year, is the Women Leaders in Law Fellowship. This is for women with at least 10 years experience in the law at the time of applying. And the fellowship can be used for professional development courses, for further study, including a postgraduate degree or an inquiry project. So we do have on our website examples of previous fellows who have used the fellowship for those things. And the thing that we're looking for in this fellowship is that it builds the leadership capacity of the fellow. So that is the Women Leaders in Law Fellowship, and here are some examples of well, these are the women who received the fellowship last year. Iris Bergkamp, who is producing a comprehensive text on public health law in New Zealand, and Marnie Lloyd, who is using the fellowship to pursue the Women's Leadership Development Program offered by the University of Oxford, as well as study towards Heke Ahunga Tikanga, which is offered by Te Wānanga Ōraukawa. So we are also welcoming applications for the Borrin Foundation Community Law Fellowship. This is for lawyers working for community law centres. And the pool of funding available is $80,000. So this may be awarded to one fellow or may be split between 2 or 3 separate individuals for a fellowship. So in the first year that this was offered, it was split between 3 individuals, and last year it was awarded to one individual who is Dylan Nightingale. So she is examining employer accountability in relation to migrant exploitation within Aotearoa. And we are also offering Travel and Learning Awards. So these awards are offered in both rounds, and so they're offered in both rounds, and the pool of funding available is 120,000. So we will be, so we typically award 12 awards of up to $10,000 a year. So these are the recipients in the last round. We awarded 9 in the last round, and they are all doing very a broad range of different activities with the awards that they've received. So I encourage you to go onto our website to look at the types of things that we have awarded this for. So the awards can be used to fund travel for, typically it's to support travel for a short period of time, like 2 to 8 weeks. And so this could be to pursue a practical inquiry, to attend and present at conferences, to share knowledge and build networks, or take up other professional learning opportunities. They can also be used to fund travel for unpaid internships that could be could span several months, so they would be longer than 8 weeks, and that would be for the benefit and knowledge of applicants, and so that they can share their learnings when they return to New Zealand. So the funding can be used for things like registration fees, travel and accommodation, including per diems if needed, and other travel related costs, including economy class airfares. So just a word of advice: if you are including per diems, then in the application do note what you are basing the per diems on. So just a few exclusions here with Travel and Learning Awards. So they can't be used as an academic research grant unless the funding would allow something to happen that the academic would not otherwise be able to pursue. And they can't be used to fund professional development that your employer should have the resources to fund itself. And Travel and Learning Awards can't be used towards academic or professional qualifications. Okay, so how to apply. So you need to prepare all of your paperwork first and then submit through our online application process. So that's on our website. The proposal template and application form are available at the moment. So I guess the thing to be aware of is that you do need to prepare all of your paperwork first, because we don't have the ability to save applications as you go. So prepare everything first and then upload it in one go. So you need to complete the template, including your proposal and personal statement. We have quite strict page limits. So the proposal and personal statement should be no longer than 7 pages. So 5 pages for your proposal and 2 pages for your personal statement. Just a thing to note for the Te Pae Tawhiti scholarship, if you're applying for an LLM by coursework only, where the template asks you about your planned research, explain your plan for your degree with a focus on what your study will be. And then, so just make sure that when you're filling out the template that you answer all of the questions, including your plan for your proposal. And if your plan involves working with others or contact with stakeholders, or if you're suggesting improvements that could be made at the policy level, for example, then please let us know that you've already talked to the people that you're proposing to work with, or the stakeholders that you're wanting to consult, or the government department that you're proposing to work with, or to suggest improvements. Just let them know in your proposal that you've already talked to them and the level of support that they have indicated for your project. If you, so page limits apply to your CV as well. Please keep it to 3 pages maximum. And also, as part of the process, we ask that you provide the names of 2 people who can act as your referees. We will request the references from them, but we have provided on our website a template to request written references. So please ensure that you give them a heads up before we contact them, because it would be good if we're not the first people to contact them about your request for a reference. For the Borrin Foundation Community Law Fellowship, at least one of your referees must be someone from within community law, which could include a current or past manager, a co-worker, or a trustee. So, as I mentioned, once all your paperwork is ready, complete our online application and upload your proposal and CV as PDF files. And if you have any questions, please contact my colleague Ollie at admin@borrinfoundation.nz. And just to note that what we can advise on at this stage of the process is eligibility. And yes, I would be happy to take any of your questions. And the due date, this is very important. Applications close at 12 p.m. on Monday, 3rd of April.
Thanks for that, Tupe. So we will open the Q&A now. We will start with some frequently asked questions and then get into some queries from the Q&A box. So to start with, if I'm part of a project currently or previously funded by a Borrin Foundation grant, can I apply for a fellowship, award, or scholarship?
Yes, you can. Yep, so the 2 different funding streams are separate. So yeah, so as I mentioned, the focus for our individual funding stream is on developing the individual, and for the project funding, that could be looking at a specific research topic, and you could be part of a team. So yes, you can apply for individual funding even if you're part of a project.
Perfect, easy. And then how much funding can I apply for?
So with all of the different categories, there is a pool of funding available, and what we advise is that your application should meet the needs of the project that you are proposing, or the fellowship that you're proposing, or for a scholarship, the course of study that you are proposing. Yeah, I think, yeah. we can't actually advise on how much money you should apply for, because it will be different for everyone. For the scholarship, for example, some people might be applying for for support for a multi-year degree. Some people might be applying for the remainder, maybe 1 year of their degree. So it's really up to the applicant to apply for the amount of funding that they would need to support what they want to do.
Sweet. Do I need to include a video as part of my application?
You don't need to include a video, but the option is there if that is something that the applicant wants to do. And yeah, so we welcome videos, but they are not compulsory.
Cool. Can I apply again if I've previously been unsuccessful?
Yes, you can.
Cool. This one is regarding postgraduate scholarships. Can an individual apply in this current round for postgraduate study that will be set to take place in 2024?
Yes, as long as you meet the eligibility criteria. So if you already have an LLB, or if you are currently in your final year.
Awesome. So if there were no more questions to be answered now, I think we'll wrap up the webinar here, unless anyone's furiously typing. If you do have any additional questions following this webinar, please contact me at admin@borrinfoundation.nz. That email address can be found on our website. Just check if there's any final questions. Cool. Thank you so much to everyone who's taken the time to join us. Thank you, Tupe, for your PowerPoint.
Thank you, Ollie. Thanks everyone for attending. And yeah, if you have any further questions, please email us at admin@borrinfoundation.nz.